Radhan, I would just like to tell our viewers that Betindiaraces.com is the place to be if you want to follow racing, whether it's Calcutta racing or racing around India or even racing in the UK. So you can follow your favorite horses, you can pick your winners, you can do it all away from the race course with the touch of a finger with your phone. Having said that, we come to the Betindiaraces International Cup, which is a Class 1 1200 meter sprint race. We have 8 runners here. It's going to be run on the same day as the Monsoon Cup. So it's a good supporting event. It's going to be a great field, and it's going to be really an interesting race to watch. So we're just going to go through the field of runners for you. We'll start with horse number 1, rather. Awesome One won impressively last time, beating Consigliere. Came with a strong run. That was 7 furlong. No penalty there. The finish of the race, he looked really comfortable, and here back again on that victory to bounce back for another win. Giving weight to the field this time because it's a handicap race. And do you think coming back from a 7 rather to a 6?
Yeah, coming back from a 7 to 6 really won't make much of a difference because he's meeting the same horses what he's run with last time, almost the same field. He did win impressively that day, beating your horse Consigliere only the start from 7. And he's a custom horse who he tries to lug in, but considering that day he ran straight as an arrow on the straight, he didn't lug in at all, and he came with a big run and he just won going away from the field. And he's got the service of the same jockey again, Neeraj Raval, and definitely he's one of the frontline contenders again for this race because he has not been penalized, because on the terms of the race he was receiving weight when he should have been giving weight. So definitely the handicapper could not penalize him for sure because he had there was no grounds to be penalized. So definitely he has to be at the same mark. Yes. And he's won well. So again, I don't think he should find it difficult in repeating again.
Okay, so Awesome One has an awesome chance according to you. So we go to horse number 2, Lazarus. Lazarus has had 2 starts, more of a sprinting type. He did run a second to Cavallo Veloce on his first run in the monsoon sprint, then ran a 1400, a bit too much in distance for a horse like him. Back to a 1200 here, Rutherford. Ridden by R.S. Bhati. He's a horse he's an out-and-out sprinter, so he should really do well. I mean, he is giving a little weight. He's almost the top weight, but certainly 1200 is his distance.
Yes, definitely. Lazarus is the front runner, and he loves it out when he's in front. Like you see, he ran in the sprint, Calcutta sprint. He was in front, and he really made them gallop. But he found one in better in Cavallo Veloce. And he did get the better of Awesome One that day by a half a length. So he's one of the horses who are going to make them run for sure.
If he doesn't fade out at the finish this time, because in his earlier 2 starts he was there, but he really didn't have that finishing speed which you're looking for. And it's the horses that, although he's got that initial speed and he's got the pace and he does get the trip, he just needs that finishing speed. He's just gone a bit flat in his last 2 starts, I would say. Just maybe in the last 200.
So we'll wait and watch what he does this time.
Could have improved on those runs as well. And that shows maybe he needed to come back into his winning form. True. If you're lacking that, then it shows at that point. Number 3, Prince Satsuma, a horse which has been rather unlucky but very close and a very competitive horse. He's been he's been at 1200s and 1400s. He's versatile in this range of distance races. Ridden by C.S. Jodha. He's run 4th over 1200. Then he's run a 3rd to Awesome One, back to a 1200 Rutherford.
Yes, he's the owner and stablemate of Lazarus. And
That's right.
And he's been ridden by CS Joda once again. And he's the horse who's run great races. Last season, he's always been consistent second, third, fourth in all his starts. And even though in his last start again, you've seen like he's finishing on and ran a third behind Awesome One. So
Right.
this time he's better on the scales than Awesome One. He was giving Awesome One 1.5 kg. Now he's on the receiving end of 1 kilo from Awesome One. So that makes him at least 2.5 kilos better on the scales with Awesome One. So he's going to make the finish interesting this time because of that tilt in the scales, I feel, this time with Awesome One.
And he's not far off also. He was just about 2.5 lengths away. So with this bit of tilt in the scales, as you mentioned, certainly brings it that much closer at the finish.
Yes.
Number 4, Intense Stylist, a horse which is very well performed, highly rated from Western India, has come here, switched stables, running for the first time, has had his fair share of niggles as well, in his preparations. But it's good to see him back on the track. We hope Intense Stylist is, overcome whatever his issues have been to prevent him from performing in these good races, which we'd love him to see. But it's good to see him back in the fray.
Yeah.
Number 5, Rainbow Trout, a horse which I think everybody in Calcutta knows, the name of this horse. I think he's the horse of the season for the previous cold weather season.
Yes.
Ridden by Hindu Singh, the stable jockey, and having his first start, but he's sort of still on a winning streak.
Yes, she's won 4 on the trot last season. She was the champion horse of the season in the winter last year. And the only thing, she's having a first start in the monsoon season. She's having a long gap since the last run she ran in April. So she's had a fair amount of work. She's had quite a bit of workouts. So definitely Vijay has got her well tuned and for this race to bring her out after so many months. But a race run is a race run, end of the day, under your belt, taking on in the top class horses.
True. Having said that, Rutherford, what I notice is that Rainbow Trout is getting into a 1200. He skipped the 1400 earlier, and Rainbow Trout's form shows that she's won 3 races over 7 furlongs and then a mile. So to begin with, Vijay, before the winter season starts, a 6 furlong would be the perfect, a way to give her a prep run before, she switches tracks and participates in the cold weather season, where she's really ruled the roost last season.
True.
Number 6, St. Petersburg, ridden by Mohammad Azharuddin, shifted over from Bangalore. I trained St. Petersburg, had a start with A. Sandesh. That was the terms race, which was won by Cavallo Veloce, and came out and won very quickly after that on the 5th of the month, where he won a handicap race, beating Tudor Hall. It was quite a close finish. I claimed 3 kilos on that occasion with apprentice H.M. Akshay, who rode a good race, which was his debut day at riding in Calcutta, so it was a lucky start for him and a good ride, I would say, that on a horse, new center on a new horse. And he's a bit of a break now. The horse seems to have acclimatized better, and I'm pretty happy with St. Petersburg. Should run a very good race. He's drawn 1. He's a front running horse, and the 1200 will suit him. So he's coming back after winning a 7 and back to a 6, and the weights that he carried is practically the same. There's a half kilo difference, and he will definitely, I would say, put his best foot forward, hopefully, and should perform well.
Yeah, surely, because he did show a gutsy performance last time. Even though after drifting out from the straight course, he still managed to fight on and battle up to the right up to the line and hold on to win from Tudor Hall, who's one of the frontline contenders tomorrow for the Monsoon Cup as well. So you have a good line and form to go by.
Number 7, Silver Bracelet, won its first start over 1100. We've spoken about Silver Bracelet before. I think both of us, especially definitely me, I'm impressed with with this filly. She's always performed well. She won that 1100, very impressively, 4.5 lengths. Then came out and just got caught at the post, just about 3/4 in a short neck away from St. Petersburg. She's carrying 51 today. She's 5 kilos better on her weight from her last run. So Silver Bracelet certainly has, in my opinion, with the extra kilo being claimed by apprentice Sujit Kumar Paswan, Silver Bracelet cannot be ignored here.
No, you cannot ignore her. She's definitely going to be there at the all-important end, and she's going to be in the mix of things for sure again. She will definitely be at the finish. Wherever the races, whoever's going to win, she's going to be in the thick of things for sure.
Absolutely. Number 8, Enrique Legend, trained by myself. Enrique Legend's had a couple of runs this season where he's run 4th. He's more accustomed to, prefers a distance of about 1100 to 1200 in my opinion. He's run a 14 last time. He was okay, but he seemed to be, fading out in the last 250. Back to 1200, carrying a bit less. I think Enrique Legend, the monsoon season is not his favorite time of year. He's not in his best condition that time of year. But we've got a hint of, change in the air weather-wise. So hopefully, and he's showing that he's sort of eating a little better. He's enjoying himself out in the mornings a little better. So he should put in a better performance carrying 50 kilos. I've put up Amin Merchant, who's, a veteran riding on this track and a very experienced jockey. And he can do this kind of weight at his age. So credit to Amin there. Brother?
So yeah, definitely he's run 2 fourths and he's a front running horse as well. So definitely he's going to be up in front in the pace, and if all goes well, definitely, as you said last time, he just faded out in the distance post in the 1400. So definitely he's going to be up there with the pace and probably might create a flutter. Hopefully.
I'm hoping. So we'll wrap up by asking Rutherford to give us his 2 picks, or would you like to keep it extended to 3 for this race?
Yeah, I would like to keep it.
Or just give us one and
Okay, all said and done, I think Awesome One again is the main choice for the race.
Yes.
Because he was very impressive in his last start. But you cannot neglect the field, because it's a very strong field as well he has to take on.
I think Awesome One was, the terms were very, favorable to the horse the last time around, and he deserved to win that, that race and things. But here he's going to carry his rightful handicap vis-a-vis his performance with the other horses in this race. So I think Awesome One does stand out on his form. But I think he, on the weight, you've got Silver Bracelet there, you've got Rainbow Trout, who's come back to racing with great form behind her. St. Petersburg, who's coming after a win. And of course, horses like Lazarus and who are also there over 1200 meters. So Awesome One does stand out here, but I think, this time out, it's a little bit of a different, field for him. He's not getting weight and things like that. He's actually giving it. Having said that he's the horse, I think, and he's rightfully carrying top weight in this class.
Yeah. So let's hope it's going to be a good race for sure to watch. Although it's the Betindiaraces International Cup. And as I say, Betindiaraces is one of the best betting sites in India and doing well at the moment.
Log on, everybody.
Log on and click on the fingers and pick the correct horse, and yes, play responsibly.
Well said, brother.